sure you've had these experiences where, after the fact, like in hindsight, you wish you did things differently. Usually though, it's always too late. But not today, because in this video, I'm giving you the advice that would have made my life easier, helped me develop faster as a well-rounded artist, maintain maybe a healthier relationship with art, and overall just solved all my life's problems. It's everything I wish I could tell my younger self, whether you're drawing for fun or thinking about going pro one day. Most of you are younger than me based on my analytics, so you actually have time to use this. Let's go through the 16 most valuable, I think, pieces of advice that I could come up with as I work on perhaps my last painting of 2025 in the background there. Being called talented is an insult. When you draw a lot of people will start to call you talented. And it's very important that you don't start to believe them, because it's not talent that you have. You just happen to practice more than them. So don't let those compliments get to your head early on and start thinking that you have a natural gift. That thinking will most likely make you lazy, and soon enough, the untalented people that just keep grinding and working hard will surpass you and steal your girlfriend. Talent is just disguised practice. So don't let people that misuse the word make you complacent. Learn fundamentals before chasing style. Young artists often obsessed over developing a unique style immediately. Don't. Style naturally emerges from solid fundamentals. So copy different artists for practice, study things like construction, perspective, anatomy, color, design, and so on first. Your style will just develop organically as your preferences combine over time. Forcing it early will just create bad habits that you'll spend years on learning. I've seen this happen so many times. Draw what you hate drawing. Everyone avoids something, like hands, feet, complex perspectives, certain subjects. Those weaknesses compound over time and they'll become obvious gaps in your skill set. The things you tend to avoid are exactly what you should practice more, because they'll slowly grow into your Achilles heels otherwise. And reversing that will get more and more painful as time goes on. So don't do the art equivalent of like skipping leg day at the gym. Focus on building skills, not collecting degrees. Whether you want to go pro someday or just get really good at art for any number of reasons, what matters is your actual ability to create. I've mentioned this statistic in the past, but based on the US Census, over 85% of artists making a living from their art alone have no formal education. Most professionals don't have a degree. I wish my parents knew that when I was younger. I don't have one. Most of my art friends don't have one either. Yet they're all in top positions at various, game and film studios. I personally started to get opportunities at a relatively young age, not because of school, but because I had skills worth paying for. Just a strong portfolio built from consistent practice over many years. And this is exactly why I built my art program the way that I did. YTartschool for digital artists. It's a complete art education that costs less than a single day at a top university, yet it delivers arguably far better and more relevant content. And you can do it from the comfort of your home. It's all about getting good at art through structured learning. And of course, building the best possible portfolio. The thing that will actually get you real opportunities or just allow you to get really good really fast, if that's all you want. Over 30,000 students are working through it right now, from complete beginners to actual professional artists working in the industry right now. And for just a couple more days, it's 50% off for the holidays. And it's the cheapest it'll ever be. You get lifetime access and free updates for life. So if you've been thinking about seriously leveling up your art, this is the time. Check it out with the link in the video description. Don't miss out. All right, the next one is finish and ship work. And what I mean by that is that perfectionism kills more artistic growth than just the lack of skill. It's way better to have like 100 finished pieces that you consider only at like 80% of your max level than having only 10 pieces that are at 100%. I know this is hard at first, but you improve through volume and iteration, not endless polishing. So finish things, post them, and move on to the next one. This is how you actually get better. Number 6 is to document everything. Take photos or scans of all of your work, even the sketches. You'll want to look back at your progress later. Actually seeing the results of your hard work over time is a huge motivation boost. Progress isn't always linear in the short term, so things can get a bit depressing sometimes. But if you look back at work from a year prior and you see growth, well, it makes it much easier to bounce back and keep going. you know, realize that you were just in a little slump and things will get back on track soon enough. Lost sketchbooks and old files are permanent regrets. Trust me on that one. So build a personal archive from day one. Future you will thank you. Easy now equals hard later. This is more for the younger artists out there, but really consider this one. Everything you do now makes getting good easier or harder for future you. So if your teens and like your 20s are easy, like just gaming, scrolling, gambling, wasting time, improving your art in your 30s and beyond will be way harder. The you like 2 or 3 years from now will be shaped by decisions that you make today. It's just life, you know, but we get less and less free time as we get older. So that free time you have now as a young person is extremely precious. Don't waste it. You just don't get this time back. So set future you up for success. Build your art community early. Art improvement happens faster when you're connected with other artists. When I was younger, I spent all my time posting on DeviantArt, building connections, and some of the artists that I competed with or looked up to back then are now close friends of mine who push me to get better as I push them. So engage with the art community now, share your work, give feedback, learn together. Art is way better when you're not doing it alone, and you'll see a bit later in life this community is actually much smaller than you think. So don't burn too many bridges, or any really. The next one is this. Some people will discourage you, ignore them. People will tell you art's a waste of time, that you should focus on real things, that there's no money to be made with art. They're wrong. Art brings joy, it develops creativity, teaches problem solving, and makes your life richer, and your bank account as well if you know what you're doing. Whether you go pro or just stay a hobbyist, the time you invest in art is never wasted. Listen to people who actually create, listen to other artists who found success, not people who only have an outsider's perspective. And with all the AI slop flooding the internet now, real art made by humans is only going to get more and more valuable with time. I would bet my career on this. Protect your health from day one. Your body is your tool. Wrist pain, carpal tunnel, back problem, eye strain, even worse, like stuff like depression. These can completely obliterate your ability to create, either for months, years, or maybe forever. So don't draw for hours without breaks. Rest your hands and eyes. Stay in decent physical shape. Invest in proper equipment early, like get a good chair, a good desk setup. All obvious stuff, of course, but also things that most young people just neglect until they find out. Taking health seriously is really not optional if you want to be doing art long term, so get on it. Keep art fun alongside improving. When you get serious about improvement, it's easy to make every drawing session feel like homework. So balance focused practice with just creating for pure enjoyment. Not everything needs to be a study or a portfolio piece. Some art should just be fun, experimental, or silly. The joy is actually what keeps you going long term, so if you don't do this, you're already on your way to a burnout. My advice number 12 is to choose your art community carefully. Not all art spaces are healthy. There's many communities out there that just encourage comparison, gatekeeping, and negativity. So really pay attention and curate who you spend time with. Toxic environments will just stunt your growth. Most online art drama is just a complete waste of your energy and creativity. Find people who push you to improve, not tear you down or make you feel inadequate. Seems obvious, but I feel like a lot of people need the reminder. All right, here's the next one. Your art journey doesn't have a timeline. Many artists will feel like they've failed, if they're not amazing by a certain age. That's obviously nonsense. Like some people will start at 5, some people at 50, like many of my own students. Some will improve fast, some pretty slow. There's no deadline, there's no race, no too late. Your journey is yours alone, so as long as you can look back to your art from a year ago and you see progress, that's great. So keep progressing at your own pace and enjoy the process. And this next one is similar in a way, but don't compare yourself to others. Everyone looks better online, but really, everyone's hiding their struggles, their failures, their bad drawings. Like I never show my bad drawings, but there's plenty of them. So when you see an artist whose work seems perfect, well, you need to understand that they've created thousands of terrible drawings that you never see. They struggle too. In some cases, it's very likely that they used a ton of references, maybe even traced their work, but you'll almost never know if they're not being honest about it. And many aren't. So yeah, stop comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Just focus on being better than you were yesterday. All right, this next one is on social media. And basically, your stats on social media are meaningless early on. Don't measure your worth based on likes and followers, especially if you have under like 10,000 followers. Because before that, it's mostly just luck. Like one post might do great because someone big reshared it, but another one will flop even though it's better work. The algorithm is random and really doesn't reflect your actual skill until you get a much larger following. And even then, it only ever just reflects how well you are at gaming the algorithm, never really the quality of your art. You're improving whether the internet validates it or not. I'll say it again, create for yourself first. And my final advice of this class, my final advice of the year, everyone gives up, be the one who doesn't. Like everyone you grow up as an artist with will eventually give up, or nearly almost everyone. Online friends, art buddies, people you look up to now, most of them will give up at some point. They'll give up on art. So just be the one that doesn't ever give up. You just need to be the most persistent. Outlast everyone, like be the last one standing. That's literally the biggest secret to getting better than 99% of the art community. Well, that and being subscribed to my channel, of course. So these are the things I wish someone told me when I was just starting out. Hope you enjoyed the process in the background there. That was a fun one to paint. And if you're interested, you can also find a link to my brushes in the video description. And well, now, if you're just starting as an artist and you're looking for a great roadmap to follow to make sure that you get the best possible start to your art journey, you should watch this Artist Starter Pack class that I made recently. It'll be up on screen here in a second. I'll see you there. And I'll see you next year.